to the Crosslinks channel today. We are going to discuss about PT, Pearson Test of English Academic, and also PT Core. We are going to talk about the speaking section. As everybody knows, this is the first part that comes in the exam, and the first question type is going to be called as Read Aloud. So in Read Aloud, you know that it is dependent on three major factors, one being the fluency, the content, and then you have the pronunciation. I am going to start with the fluency first. Now, how do you maintain the fluency in speaking? I think first of all, you have to maintain a natural pace of speaking. You cannot go really fast and you cannot actually speak slower because that won't be your natural pace. You have to maintain it all throughout. The second thing that you can do in order to improve your fluency is constant practice. With practice, of course, you get an understanding of the stress, intonation and other aspects of the language, and of course you can work upon it. So I think fluency is only attained when you practice a handful of text in the form of read alouds. Then the second thing I'm going to come up with is going to be called as content. Of course, my content is that you need to find the difficult words, you need to read them appropriately with the correct pronunciation. So I feel pronunciation and content go hand in hand with each other. Talking about the content, where punctuation plays a dominant role, where there are full stops, commas, there could be semicolons as well. So you need a fraction of a second pause there in order to understand that it's required. At the same time, my content needs some form of variation and stress and intonation to develop the skills further. Moving forward, I'm going to talk about the pronunciation, and this I feel is the most important aspect of the read aloud questions because most students make a lot of mistakes in that particular aspect. So I think, do you guys know, I think many of you know that pronunciation is entirely different from the word accent. Talking about pronunciation, now there are two words written here on the screen with me and on the board with me. So now one is schedule, the other one is vitamin. Now we also say vitamin and schedule. Which one is correct? I think both are correct. One is the UK accent, other one is the US accent. That is there. So accents are different, but yes, you have to speak them all throughout same. For example, if you are saying the word schedule, you have to say schedule, schedule, schedule. And if there is, I would say this 3-4 times in one passage, right? When you say vitamin, just say vitamin. Do not change it to vitamin in the next sentence. So the minute things related to accent pronunciation play a really dominant role here. Moving forward, talking about the pronunciation, which I said I find is the most important aspect of speaking, especially of the read aloud. So photograph, you see it is pronounced like this, photograph. Then coming to leisure, we do not actually stress on RE. People like students say like leisure. It is not leisure, it is leisure. Coming to the word gesture, again gesture. I do not stress on the last RE here and RE here as well. So these are certain words that really benefit you when you practice them more. I think there are other words as well which I will be covering as another part of my video. But yes, I think this is the most important thing you need to learn today. Now, I would like to further talk about certain do's and don'ts of read aloud. Now, do's and don'ts majorly cover things like when I say there is something called the short forms. You know, there are short forms such as you will be finding IE in the passage, or EG in the passage. You will also be able to see something called ETC in the passage. So we do not actually read it as IE or we do not actually read it as that is, for example, or for that matter, etc. We read it as IE, EG and EDC. So we cannot fiddle with the short forms. Another one could be contractions. You know, there are words like isn't, you've. There are other contractions as well. So what students do is they read it as it is not, you have not, or you have done this. So you do not have to expand the contractions. They have to be spoken like this only, isn't and you've. So I think there are more do's and don'ts like this in the read aloud test and read aloud particular question type. And I think you guys need to focus on this, which I will be covering in the upcoming videos of mine. And with the read aloud question, I think it is easier to attain the score because you just have to read the content written on the screen. That is what you need to do. So, of course, I will be teaching you more tips and tricks, but that's all for today. Thank you. Stop.